Alrighty, completed the Eden raids and questline today, and I had started these Tuliyollal role quests when there was a night when I found out that I couldn't solo the Shiva raid for the Eden raids, and like what else can I do? And then my list of things to do in this game, the Tuliyollal role quest, was up there, and my Pictomancer? Why do I want to say it's not Pictomancer? Is it Pictomancer? I don't know why. My Pictomancer was level 98, like almost 99, and decided to start these. And then when, like I said in the previous videos of these quest lines, when my tanks and melee DPS and healers, and then physical ranged, when they get up to the appropriate levels, I'll do all of those ones as well. I also am pretty sure I have if there are role quests that go along with, it wouldn't be Shadowbringers, I did that, so it would be Endwalker. If there are role quests that go along with Endwalker, I will do those as soon as, well, I don't know. Maybe as soon as I get my Scholar to 80, or sorry, Astrologian to 80. I'm not sure yet. But those will get done before the rest of these get done. Anyway, we can get through all of the ranged magical DPS quests, and currently, instead of being in the Tuliyollal kind of areas, we have... Do I want to do this? No, not really. We're back in Ilsabard, in the town of Yedlamad in Thavnair, to be specific, to continue with Tepeke, our Mikot female paladin buddy for these quests. For the quest titled A Brand of Justice, this is level 92. The starting quest was 90. Here we go. I forgot what the exact voice I did for her, so I apologize, and I didn't listen to myself in the previous video, so... Ah, mercy, I'm afraid there have been some developments that are less than encouraging. News of the Justicar's actions have spread throughout the city, and with each retelling his deeds become more valorous. The younger citizens, in particular, seem to view him as something of an idol. I look a little bit shocked at this. Despite the creatures he hunts posing no real danger, he would paint them as mighty beasts in need of felling. Of course, the Radiant Host are far too busy to trouble themselves, culling every pest that casts a sideways glance at the city's gates. Sorry. Yet the Justicar has twisted circumstances to his advantage. He proclaims to anyone who will listen that the Radiant Host shrink with terror before... shrink. With terror before these beasts, and that he's the only one who can eradicate them. Though you might expect such claims to be dismissed as wild ramblings, it seems no few people have fallen for his ploy. The whispers of his exploits among the youth have practically grown into a clamor. Yet we mustn't be discouraged, for his increasing fame only makes it easier for us to sniff out his trail. And where better to start than Radz-at-Han? I'll see you there, Mercy. Give her a nod. Another one. I knew I was scrolling up here for a reason. 215 teleports us to Radz-at-Han. And to the northeast of the Etherite, whatever, we have Tepeke. Hey lady. Given how large the city is, let's split up to cover more ground. I already have a destination in mind, the High Crucible. I hear the alchemists there can concoct all manner of tinctures and powders, including those which help in detecting traces of energies left behind by magics and enchanted tools. Fallen rocks have invariably marked locations where the Justicar has performed one of his feats, and I believe an alchemical mixture can help us determine if their presence is the work of the treasure. I'm hardly an expert in such concoctions, though, so I'll seek advice at the High Crucible. While I'm doing that, I would ask that you go to the Hall of the Radiant Host and see if they have any new information on the Justicar's whereabouts. Does that plan sound agreeable to you? I nod. Great. Now that we both have our tasks, let's get to them. I'll meet you back here once my business is done. I forgot everything she said. But I'm going to the Hall of the Radiant Host. If you might remember, Radz-at-Han is an extremely colorful city. Kind of Indian, like the country of India kind of vibe to the color patterns, and the music kind of hints at that as well. We have a preoccupied Radiant who is going through some purple cabinets. Like there's a lot of them. Like big dressers kind of thing. I explain why I'm here. I'm tired of hearing about this Justicar. His popularity among the city's younglings is quickly becoming a cause for concern. Try as we might to refute his claims that the Radiant Host are allowing monstrous beasts to run amok unchecked. You know how young minds are. Impressionable and difficult to change once set. We initially disregarded him as a boastful eccentric. Eccentric? I think it's eccentric, not eccentric. But his alarming, I know the word, I just can't remember how it's pronounced. But his alarming sway over the populace can no longer be ignored. We are at present considering whether to open a formal investigation into his activities. You and this ally of yours have done well in your search thus far. You even have a working theory about the falling stones. Quite impressive. Several of our number have encountered him during their patrols, only to lose sight of him under a hail of rocks. Such incidents have become all too frequent, and many in our ranks demand we act. For now, I'm afraid this is all the help I can offer. Please share what I've told you with your companion, and together we may yet unmask the Justicar. Alright, back to the main aetheryte, and then back to the northeast of it. Tepeke has come back to this spot. I explain what I have found. It's heartening to know that the Radiant Host are taking this seriously. Thank you for speaking with them, Mercy. I have good tidings as well. I explained the situation to the alchemists, and they provided a powder that should help detect traces of magic in the surrounding environment. I say help because the powder reacts only faintly on its own. To function properly, it requires the skills of one practiced in the arcane arts. Luckily, I have you. I've committed the locations of all sightings of the Justicar to memory, and the closest to us was at the Perfumed Rise. Let's hope this powder works as intended. Give her a nod, she walks right through me. Teleport back over to Thavnair, this time to the Great Work. And we fly northeast on our land shark that can also fly shark. Or torpedo shark, okay. Find Tepeke, inspecting a rock on the ground, or just looking at it for now. The Justicar was sighted near here, and I didn't see any other conspicuous stones around, so I've sprinkled the powder over this one. Now, concentrate your focus, or inner eye, or whatever it is that's the locus of your power, and see if you can't detect any unnatural forces. Cutscene. We have a zoomed in view of the rock, myself walking up to it. I look back to Tepeke, who nods. Hold out my hand. Close my eyes and concentrate. We have a black screen. Tepeke is just a black shadow. We saw the rain falling in white drops. Now it's just me and the stone that is indeed glowing. And bolder is a better word for the stone. It gives off a lot of radiant white yellow light. I open my eyes. Still in this blackness, just myself and the stone. and a yellow kind of ball radiating even more yellowly intense light starting to come from the stone. You see that black screen with a white rainfall, the black shadow of Tepeke. Now we're back to normal. Tepeke approaches me. So, what were you able to detect anything? I nod. I let her know what I saw. Her eyes are wide with excitement. She big smile. I knew you could do it. So because there are no crystals in the rock, the energy you detected must be the remnants of some kind of spell. Is that right? And taking the story of the Radiant we rescued previously into account, we can conclude that the Justicar uses the treasure to call those stones down from the sky. I guess. She thinks on it. Cutscene. Flashback to this Justicar dude holding the owl totem into the air. At least we now have an inkling of its true nature. Even so, not every question has been answered. The Radiant told us that even as the Justicar stood before the creature, he seemed to have trouble calling forth the Apex's power at first. My father once said that the perch of the Apex is much like the wand he used to weave his magics. Of course, the main difference between them is the unique nature of the essence stored within the treasure. Back to present. I know little of such arcane instruments, but you must be quite familiar with them. How do you use yours? My options are I channel ether into it, or I perform incantations, or I rely on sheer willpower. I don't know. I channel ether into it. I don't know. I see. Even with the right instrument, spellcasting requires the use of specific techniques. The Justicar seems to lack any such expertise, so how did he tap into the treasure's power? She ponders some more. I suppose the perch of the Apex possesses some unique method of activation. When I spoke to the representatives of the other tribes about their treasures, no one mentioned special techniques being required. Not that the relics should have much in common to begin with. Yeah, true. A guard dude comes... Well, I think it's a guard. Yeah, an agitated Radiant. You two. He's an Makot male, I think. Did you see... Or wait. Aura male. Like, kind of spiky-ish black armor. But a polearm at his back, so possibly a dragoon. It could... Yeah, it's a polearm. It's got a sword at the end. A sword blade, but... You two, did you see an Ari girl pass through here by herself? Wait. By yourselves? Wait. I read that wrong, and I can't see it anymore. I'm wondering what it said now. I'm afraid not. What happened? Oh, he's a Makot. Wait, no. Human male. Never mind. His head armor just looks like it has tall, slicked back ears and, I don't know, whatever. Blue hair. Wait, I recognize you both. The hero of the final days and our recent visitor from Tuliyollal. Apologies for the imposition, may I beg your assistance? It's all that Justicar's fault. The girl said she was off to join that fool's crusade and ran out of Yedlamad before anyone could stop her. What girl? We talked to a young boy, didn't we? Her mother begged us to find her, but if she's following the Justicar, she could be anywhere. You see, he's been sighted at locations scattered all over Thavnair. We can't stand here looking at rocks while a girl is in danger, especially if the Justicar is involved. We have to help. I give her a nod. He gives a fist and palm. That'd be much appreciated. We're searching places where the Justicar's been spotted before, so perhaps you could start where he hasn't been seen? Yeah, okay. Good idea. As far as I know, he hasn't been sighted at the northern shores. Come on, Mercy. Yeah, let's go to all the places he hasn't been spotted. That shouldn't be infinite. Almost by definition. Anyway, we fly north with a little tint of west. And we have entered our big red circle on the map. Looking around. Here's Tepeke. I don't see her anywhere. I hope she's safe. She's kind of in the west-ish portion. Oh, here we go. Along the beach, 2 large walruses are attacking an Ari girl. We have a dark purple circle where battle will begin. And then get my paintings up. Oh, that one died fast. Hammer time. I don't often have the sound on while I'm Pictomancer, so I didn't know what that sounded like until just now. It's like the spinning hammer is your 3rd hammer stamp. Talk to the Ari girl to continue. The cutscene. Tepeke comes running up. I heard fighting, so I came as fast as I could. It's a good thing you arrived in time to save the girl. Darkish skin, white coral ear thingies. Also some little smaller black coral ear thingies above the ears. Green eyes. Thank you, miss. Thank you. I'm glad you're safe, but your mother must be worried sick. You shouldn't wander off like that, especially not to look for a trickster like the Justicar. What? You mean he's a bad man? Yes, exactly. He stole an important treasure from my village, and now he's using it to make himself look brave. But he needs it to kill the monsters, to protect us. That's no excuse for stealing. He might have fooled you younglings, but the Radiant hosts know what he's up to. But he said he'd save us from the monsters. He's our hero. The Radiant said we shouldn't be scared, but we all know the Justicar is the one who keeps us safe. We don't need the Radiant anymore. My options here are they would be very upset to hear you say that. Or, no hero can save the world alone. No hero can save the world alone. I think it's the better option. The little girl's like a little bit taken aback, like thinking about it. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say bad things about the Radiant. I chose wrong, damn. They protected everyone in the final days. I guess I forgot how much they care about us. Tepeke shakes her head, smiles. I'm sorry too. I shouldn't have spoken to you like that after all you've been through. You said the Justicar is a thief and a trickster, but I hope it's not true. He's my hero. Tepeke just nods. Well, I'd best escort her back to Yedlamad. I'll meet you there later, Mercy. I'm not really super fond of the accent I've chosen for this video for her. If you can... I mean, it's a mixture of bad accents. Let's just teleport. But when is it not a mixture of bad accents? You've been struck by a bad accent. To the east of the Ethernet, we find Tepeke for the turn-in. This might be where we find her from now on. Which is also where I found her for the beginning of this video. But we found her at first in Radz-at-Han for like the level 90 quest. The girl and her mother are reunited, and I think we can both give ourselves a pat on the back. They're on their way now to inform the Radiant host that all is well. I would like to apologize for before. I let my emotions get the better of me, and harangued that poor girl when she was hardly to blame for anything. I really should have been scolding myself. I cock my head at her like, what? Why? She walks a few steps toward the main aetheryte. Mercy, there's something I neglected to tell you before. The man who now calls himself the Justicar came to us in the guise of a worldly merchant. He was eager to ask about the perch of the apex and its history, and I was equally eager to tell him, not even considering what he might do with the information. I look a little shocked. I'm so proud of my father for being appointed as its guardian. I suppose I was trying to impress this stranger out of sheer vanity. That vanity led to my father being attacked and the treasure being stolen from under our noses. I have no choice but to make amends for my mistake and bring it back. Yet some are convinced that the Justicar acts only to serve the greater good. I couldn't accept that he might not be as rotten as I thought, and lashed out at the wrong person. From now on, I can't let my emotions cloud my judgment. I must remain calm and look at the facts for what they are. And the facts say that the Justicar has done no harm to the people of Thavnair. Yet. Even so, the organization he serves, the Passage of the Unbound, is evil to its very core. If his actions at my village are not villainy, I don't know what is. The situation is fraught with contradictions. I still don't know what to think. What about you, Mercy? There are still too many unanswered questions, or, even if he hasn't attacked anyone, his actions are stirring unrest. There are still too many unanswered questions. I agree. He speaks of justice and heroism with great bluster, yet there's something we're missing. Thank you, Mercy, for your wise words. I sometimes find it difficult to keep my heart from skewing my perspective, so I'm grateful that you're here to help me see clearly. So, it seems our objective is unchanged. We track down the man who stole my people's sacred treasure. Whatever his intentions may be, unraveling them comes secondary to finding the man himself. I'll continue to pour my every effort into the search, so stop by from time to time and I may have something new to share with you. I give her a nod. 102,000... Oh, sorry, no, that's wrong. 1,021,440 experience points and 1,000 gil. When Pictomancer hits 100 and shares the gear with Red Mage and Black Mage, I will figure out, because currently Black Mage and Red Mage both look like a Red Mage, minus the weapon, obviously. So I do have to figure out what I'm going to do as far as like a general ranged magical caster DPS setup. But until then, next quest I will do shortly. Probably going to get dinner first. But until then, thank you for watching. Tepeke and I both thank you. Oh, stop looking at me like that. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.